My name is Lisa Shea, and this is part of my series on horror short stories. So in this particular case, we're going to be looking at the collection of stories in The Abyss Within, and the particular story that we're going to look at is Baba Nooa, N-O-O-A. So we'll try to guess that that's probably pronounced Baba Nooa. And this story was written by Jeni Lawes. It looks like Jeni has written 2 short stories, and one of them is in this compilation, and another one is in a compilation done by witches. So if there are any other stories out there that she's written, please let me know. Those are the only 2 that I could find so far on Goodreads or on Amazon. So in this particular story, it's one of the intriguing types of stories where you start with a story within a story. So the main character is talking to her grandmother and is hearing about this spooky story about a creature that lives in the woods. And then the main character goes out into the woods and is really afraid of the woods, as most of us would be if our grandmother was telling us spooky tales about blood-sucking creatures that live in the woods. And now she's off exploring the woods with her friends and worried about this blood-sucking creature, the Baba Nooa, coming after her. So, again, I don't want to give away the details of the story in terms of what actually happens, because that will spoil the surprise. But I do like the environment of it. You know, it's a pretty classic environment where you've got a group of, they don't seem like little kids, but they seem like young adults that are going off and exploring the woods and having fun and playing games with each other and all of that sort of stuff. And then, of course, they all get separated from each other, which tends to happen in these stories. And then, you know, the creeping fear that starts to fall in about being lost in the woods and what's happening to your friends and is everyone okay and all that other sort of stuff. And she knows that something happened to her grandmother, so she knows that this is, at least she feels that she knows that this isn't just a fictional story, that something really did happen and that it could therefore happen to her. So like the first story in this series, this is written from a British language I guess point of view isn't quite the word, but it uses the British language and it's set in a British forest. So it's a lot of fun for me as an American to read the different kinds of words that people tend to use and the different phrases. And you're just thrown into the middle of it, so you have to make guesses as to what some of the phrases mean. And I enjoy that. I enjoy that sense of immersion in the story. I like the lost in the woods kind of feeling about it being creepy and scary and what's going to happen to you and what's going to happen to your friends and all of that sort of stuff. I'm just paging through here. Again, I don't want to give away the details of it, but I like the details about the, all right, so I don't want to give away the plot twists, but I like the details of the story about the way that scenes are described and characters are brought to life and the way that they speak is brought to life and things like that. Yeah, so there's a lot of good details and you get caught up in the action and the things that are occurring. I suppose something that I should be saying in these reviews is levels of horror or gore or those sorts of things. So in this particular case, as with the last story, neither of them go what I would say too heavily into the gore. I tend to be a person myself who doesn't enjoy reading about extremely detailed descriptions of gore. So I like both this story and the previous story, that they have horror in a way that catches your attention and makes you feel what the characters are going through without describing things in a lot of visceral detail. So it's a nice balance for me. All right, so I enjoyed the story. I look forward to seeing what else this author comes out with. Right now, like I said, I can only find mentions of her in this story here and in the other witch compilation. Her name is Jeni Lawes, so it's Jeni and then Lawes, Lawes. Let me know in the comments if she's written anything else to take a look at. The compilation as a whole is called The Abyss Within, 13 Chilling Tales to Keep You Up at Night by Smash Bear Publishing. It's out in ebook form, so it's on Kindle, and all proceeds support women's aid, so it's for a good cause. So let me know if you have any comments, and let me know if there's any other horror, spooky sort stories that I should read. As long as they're not completely dripping in gore. I have to shy away for those, but otherwise I'd be happy to read them. And thank you very much.